Why the three judgments in the book of Bereshit, chapter 3? The serpent, the woman, and the man. The serpent was the one that initiated the whole thing. He was the one to deceive, to tempt. The woman was the one deceived, even though she knew what she was supposed to do. And the man was led, also following the woman that listened to the serpent. And each got their own judgment. The serpent was cursed above all else. Because he has done this, he will crawl on his belly all his days and lick the dust. We don't know what he looked like before. Some say he looked kind of like a dragon with wings, had feet. And it does make sense when you look at a snake and you see actually there is a tiny little thing that kind of looks like feet, but it's so tiny and undeveloped, it's useless. And it's quite possible to be a part of the curse. The woman was told, you will bear children with pain. You will suffer. The man was told, the ground is cursed on your behalf. You will have thistles and thorns, and you will eat bread by the sweat of your brow, until the day you return to the dust, from you are dust, and to the dust you shall return. Was it just a random judgment that kind of makes sense to God? Or was there something more to it? Well, obviously that's kind of a dumb question to ask, because anything that God says has a reason to it. Nothing he says or does is random without a purpose. And the Lord is a just God, which means that whenever he judges, he does kind of give you eye for an eye and tooth for a tooth, because that is justice. The serpent, he was the adversary. He was the one that started the whole thing. As lofty as he was, and some say he was the highest angel in heaven, we don't really know that, but he was the craftier, the serpent was, the craftier above all others. And he was brought low from that highest position to the lowest, to crawling on the dust and eating dust. Well, that's what he did, that's what he got. From the highest to the lowest. The woman, what was the woman? She was the representation of life-bearing. Her name was Chava. Modern Hebrew would translate as farm, but really you could say the source of life, the origin of life, the mother of all living being. She was the one to bear children, to multiply. Well, think about it. What did she do to deserve this? If you realize that there is no real separation between the spiritual and the physical, you realize that everything we do here, we do to God. As Yeshua said, whatever you do to the least of these, you've done unto me. Whatever we do to God, he pays us back. Chava caused pain. See, the Lord created Adam and Chava without pain, to be fruitful and multiply, to build a vessel for his spirit to dwell in, a physical body that is ever expanding for his infinite spirit to dwell in. Yet because of what she did, now death has entered into the world, pain, sorrow, misery. And so she bears children in pain, because that is what she did to God. Now God is suffering and he is experiencing pain, because now his creation is cursed. His creation is fallen. And he suffers because he does not wish that any man should perish. He does not delight in the death of the wicked. He loves everything that he made, including the bad ones. And now he has pain because of what she did. And so, her reward, now you will know what I know. You wanted to be like God, know what God knows? Now you're going to know The Lord knows pain, and so will you. You will bring forth children in pain. It's only just and fair. You women should know this, if you've had children. That was not the original intention. You don't see animals, most of them, when they give birth, it just comes out, and they get up, and the baby gets up and starts running for its life. Especially in the jungles, the Serengeti. The caribou gives birth, 5 minutes later it's on its feet, 10 minutes later it's running for its life. Not so with humans. And the man was the emblem of God, the image of God, the imager of God on earth. He was to be God, to be the Father, representing the strength, the ruler, the king, to have dominion over creation, to rule. And because he was led, and because he fell into sin and he rebelled, well, what did he do to God? That the Lord cursed him. Because of him, the whole creation is cursed. Because of him, there will be suffering, there will be pain, there will be hard work. No longer is it easy and smooth. You're born righteous, you're born perfect, and you just grow from there. No. Now, you're going to have to learn. You're going to have to go through all kinds of rigorous teachings and educating and disciplining and go all the way from the beginning. We started off perfect and easy. Everything was done. Everything was given to us. Now you have to build it all on your own. We don't have the Torah written on our hearts anymore. We are born in sin, meaning we're born without the likeness of God. We're born not perfect, not already being perfect in our character, kind and selfless and loving and self-disciplined, patient. Every fruit of the Spirit that is the likeness of God, His character, who He is. We're not in His likeness anymore. We are fallen creatures, born selfish. Every baby, it's about me, me, me. He doesn't care about anyone but himself. So we steal, we lie, we cheat. Cursed is the ground on your behalf. Look what you made me do. Now I'm going to have to fix this. I'm going to have to toil with thorns and thistles. People that are going to rebel, people that are going to go the opposite way, I'm going to have to chase them down and chastise them. I'm going to have to deal with their sin, with their wickedness. I'm going to have to purge the earth of its vileness. And ultimately, I'm going to have to come down there and be throned with a crown of thorns, as the Lord Himself gave His life to bring us back. He went to the ground from which He came to bring us forth and give us a new life. And so Adam was told, by the sweat of your brow, just as the Lord worked and toiled, and Yeshua said, my Father has been working and I have been working. We have a lot of work to do to fix what you've messed up. You've ruined His creation. Now we gotta fix it. And they have been working at it. And that was the curse of Adam. Now you will know. You wanted to know what God knows. Now you will know. You will know the suffering that you put the Father through. He wanted to make a perfect world where you don't have to suffer, where everything is good and perfect and just and loving and kind. But you wanted to know evil, and then, well, you are going to know evil. You wanted to be like God, you are going to know what God knows. God knows sorrow, suffering, and pain. And that is the curse. Everyone according to what their deeds deserved. The responsibility was of Adam, because he was the ruler, he was the king, and so the entire earth was cursed on his behalf. The woman, she was the childbearer, she was the source of life, and so she will suffer, bringing forth children, multiplying, being the helper that she was created to be. And the serpent, well, he was a servant or a serpent. He was humbled and brought down low because he was a lazy, well, he wasn't really lazy, he was just a wicked servant. And you can see everything in creation, in the spiritual, manifested in the physical. Because the physical is the manifestation of the spiritual. The two are intertwined. Yeshua was not a demigod, half man, half God. He was both. He was 100% God and 100% man, because the two realms exist together. They mirror each other. That is why we have wars in heaven and on earth, ever since the rebellion. Yeshua told you how to pray. He said, when you pray, say, Our Heavenly Father, hallowed be your name, your kingdom come, your will be done on earth as it was in heaven. Because there is a war in heaven. It is a spiritual warfare that we are caught right in the middle of, between good and evil, those who are faithful to their Father and those who rebel. All started with that serpent. Jealous, envious. He was craftier than man. What is this man that he is so highly exalted and valued? I am better than he. I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna make them fall. Don't you know people who talk like that? They're so jealous of you. They can't wait to make you stumble. They don't care falling down with you as long as you fall. Well, isn't that what Muslims do? I don't care killing myself, but I'm gonna take you down with me. Interesting. And you can see that same lesson repeated all throughout history, the physical and the spiritual, and how the Father in His love comes back to clean our mess because we are His children. Just as a father would. The baby makes a mess, the father comes in the kitchen and cleans it up. But He allows the baby to suffer the consequence so that he learns not to do it again. Because if there are no consequences, why would you learn? Why would anything matter? If you could do anything and just get away with it, why would you not do what is evil? So we suffer. The sweat of our brow, the pain in childbirth, thorns and thistles, disease, and ultimately death. So that we learn the consequence of sin. And what is sin? But falling short of the glory of God. And His glory is His honor, His character, His likeness, who He is. Blameless, pure-hearted, good and just. No flaw in Him, no evil, no selfishness. He is loving, He is kind, and He judges with severity. Because, well, how else would you learn? If you do what is evil, He's going to pay you back evil. See, He told us not to do it because that's His prerogative. He said, vengeance is mine. Just because you are called not to pay back evil for evil doesn't mean that the Lord is not going to do it. He just tells you, hey, don't do it. You keep yourself pure. I'll handle this one. He's the Father. It's His creation and He takes responsibility. So you just do what's right. You just stay cute. Just be holy and righteous, call on His name, and trust in the Lord with all your heart. Everything we suffer because we deserve to suffer, so that we get a little taste of what He suffered, which is the whole point of denying yourself and picking up your cross, to partake in Yeshua's suffering. As He was humiliated, rejected by men, put to death on a cross, why should you be any different if you are His servant? He said, follow me. Follow me as I walk to the cross, and follow me as I am resurrected, and follow me as I go and sit at the right hand of God. He said, I am the way. That's the way to do it. Because this world is cursed. It is evil. It is the enemy of God. And it will kill you. Because it hates God, and if you represent God, it's going to hate you too. So stop trying to make friends with the wicked people of this world and try to make them like you. To be a Christian is not to be liked by everyone. It is to be liked by God. Remember that.